Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. For my subscriber friend that rolled a cigarette last night and hasn't smoked for a long time, I hope you're okay, but I also hope that the nicotine helps with things like I was talking about, that it guards against, maybe not the carcinogens. But if it's rolled, it's probably natural tobacco, which will work, that carcinogen will work out of your body. I mean, just with activity or detox or even coughing it up, of course. But I mean, if you're coughing all day long, then you have a problem. You know, there are some people I know that they don't realize how sick they are, but they like cough. I thought I was really gonna die one time. I had what was considered Epstein-Barr syndrome. What it was is my immunity was breaking down so bad. I was like overworked. I mean, I was working weekends, working evenings, um, running a drywall business, and working at a school in the kitchen and raising kids and grocery shopping, doing my housework, you know, doctors, whatever. I mean, I was about ready to drop dead, When you get to be about 30 and 40, sometimes it feels like you're whew, already ancient, But I made it through that. I needed to really, I took the summer off while I could because I work for the school system, but um, I was going through, well, I kicked my ex out of my life, literally, and I had to. It's not something, I mean, yeah, I'm happy I did it, but ideally, we don't usually get together with people with the intent of getting rid of them later, unless you're a narcissist. That might be part of the plan for you, but normally we don't go into relationships thinking that it's going to just be a temporary thing. So, cheers, everybody. Happy weekend to you all. Doug's got a friend of ours out there, so you might hear a little bit of noise. I was going to start this video a little earlier, but they were right outside this room talking, so I wanted to wait. Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking about patterns with liars. It's just, you know, being able to, I mean, it's not that you're even psychic or anything. It's just that even in other people, you can see the dark force has a pattern of things that human beings will do that is like somebody else. Like if you know one shady person, another shady person is going to use a lot of their tactics sometimes, and it's similar. And you're able to pick up on these patterns going into it. You can like feel it, sense it. It's like you just meet somebody and you're waiting for them to say that stupid thing or things that you know is coming because you know their personality. And once again, for people that are new here, I've studied psychology all my life and worked in the industry, and I don't buy the fact that narcissism, which is considered evil, is a mental illness. No, it's a choice. When somebody like flies off the handle in front of you or starts ranting or throwing things or whatever they're doing, this is their decision, their choice, how they want to treat people. So I think there's a lot of us that even have distanced ourselves from either our own parents or our own kids or friends that we might love dearly, but we can't be around them because, yeah, that shit rubs off on you. If you're going to laugh in a room at jokes that aren't funny, what are you going to become after a while? You're going to become a part of that community, a part of what their core beliefs is. If you'd rather sit with the murderers than you would the people that are being murdered, it's kind of, you're picking your camp, so to speak. So, yeah, it got me going on this morning. I saw a clip of Elizabeth Warren, which I can clearly just say straight out, I hate that woman. When she lied about being Native American to get an internship in our White House, um, oh shit, like 30 years ago, when a Native should have had that job. Yeah. And she's been being paid all this time based on a lie. Well, she was on some Democratic speech podium and whatever. She was there, and Bernie Sanders was there, and he called her a liar. This little stupid steps up to Bernie, and she's like, "We, we'll take care of this right now," and he says, "We'll take care of it later." And he said, "We can go outside," and she's like, "You called me a liar, we'll deal with it now," like stepping up on him. And I'm thinking, oh, I'd like you to step up on me. you know well, I just cannot stand her. It's just, that's when I started really detesting. I mean, I've always detested my government, but her and Hillary Clinton put that detestment on the pinnacle of disgust. I can't stand them. And it's not because anybody's Democratic or Republican. They've switched sides. They really have. It's all mixed up now. People don't even know what a Republican Party would stand for, or what a true democracy is, or the Independent Party. They have no clue. And I don't blame them, because if they're not old enough to really watch generations of politics, they don't really have a clear understanding, unless they're a political historian, then they know. But yeah, like for instance, it's in our Constitution that people like Elizabeth Warren, or I'll use Hillary Clinton for this example, she is an attorney. It is illegal for her to hold a public office. We're supposed to have people, our peers, in there, but it does state that they cannot be um, members of the Bar Association at all, unless they're part of the Supreme Court. Other than that, like the House of Legislators in our states and Congress, these are supposed to be our peers, not um, uh, trained attorneys that can. Well, if they're not standing by the Constitution, that's worse than treason, because they know the laws. Most people should, in your states especially, read your statutes, read your substatutes, take a couple hours in the library and find out, if you don't want to find out for the whole United States, um, you know, state by state, at least you can learn those laws within your state, what bills were signed when, what for, especially if you have like special interests, like building in a community or that type of thing, and or finances, or these types of um, uh, land ownership, or different things. It's the wording and the laws that can either be used against you or for you, because of the way they're written and the way they've been twisted, and the bills that have been passed, like with executive orders that the people have no say so in that law being passed at all because it didn't go before the people. That type of thing. There's a lot of, they're all treasonous. They all suck. That's my opinion. So, yeah. So I started thinking about narcissism and the devils that have been sent against me in my life that I will not back down from. And I'll always win one way or another. They think, oh, because I've had mass quantities of being kicked down or whatever, or kicking me when I'm down, that I'm just going to stay there and take it. Hey, I could be crying on the floor in a pool of blood and be planning your demise, you know, uh, or their demise, you know, wouldn't you? Especially if everybody can be used against you and they don't have the willpower or the strength to overcome that, or they're actually doing it because they made a contract with the devil to come against you, you know, and that's the only contracts he makes is your benefit and somebody else's downfall. That's it. There's nothing, actually, there's no balance of good and evil there. There's only evil, period. Nothing good ever comes out of it for the person that uses that force. You pay for it. So some people think, well, they can laugh it off. Laugh off the fact that I see your patterns. Laugh off the fact that I see your lies and feel like you're not going to be exposed. But liars expose themselves. Did you ever notice that? They can be talking and it's like um, the Holy Spirit coming through their mouth instead of them, and they'll say exactly something stupid like they are, and it'll come out of them, and they don't even know where that voice came from. I've seen it. Talk about possession. Yeah, these people are possessed. Yes, narcissists are possessed. I don't have a doubt, not a doubt in my mind. It's when they're younger and they start going down that staircase. And the further they go down, the harder it is to come back up. And they don't know how to do it because once they're down there and they're beaten down beneath that force and they're subdued. Um, they don't realize they actually do have the strength to rise, and if they don't start doing it, the sooner the better, then the worse it is, and the older they get, the harder or more impossible it will be for them to come back or for anybody to even reach them, because the minute these narcissists turn off their light because of trauma and sorrow, instead of facing the darkness within themselves, they make excuses for it. And then that becomes a habit. And they excuse themselves out of horrible things that they do. They'll always, they'll always find let me think, what is the word? They'll always find um, like a reason. There's another word for a reason, but they'll always find that to excuse themselves out of anything they've done. I want to think what that is. Just a minute here. I'll take a sip of my coffee and ponder on that a second. Or not. Oh, anyway, yeah. But I'm sure you know what I'm getting at. What I mean there is, yeah, making excuses for their bad behavior, justify. Yeah, they always can justify their bad deeds, because they're not willing to dig down into the shadow work, is what Jung would call it, or Young, whatever. Um, some people, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Carl Jung, but he had some aspects of psychology, um, that most people agree on, that there's things that we do or don't do, and what he calls like the ego or the alter ego, that type of thing. Like my alter ego is definitely beast like, you know? So if I call on that strength to devour my enemy, I'm like laying in that pile of blood, calling on that strength. That's part of me. I'm not asking for darkness. I'm not asking for somebody else's gifts or somebody else's strength or bowing to any dark force or anything. You push somebody in the corner far enough and you poke them hard enough in the same spot continuously, and they're going to strike. They're going to attack unless they want to just lay there and die. I mean, I have seen people just kind of like sit there and take the abuse. It's not, I don't recommend that for anybody, you know, even if it's with people's words or however, sneaky lying bullshit or whatever it is. You know, that's on them. That's their lack of integrity. And they can try and lie about it all they want. Like, oh, I treated this person bad and I feel entitled, but I'm a mental case. I'm a fucking retard because I call myself a narcissist, that type of feeling you get out of people. Anyway, I'm sure we have all encountered those types, you know. I saw meme on Facebook. Does anybody else still say excuse me and pardon me and yeah, sure do. But then I've been known to, if I have somebody rude, like in the grocery store or something, it depends on the day, but I used to sometimes say excuse me, bitch, or um pardon me, as they butt in front of me, or you know yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say when I'm going to say it. I go on my feelings. A lot of people are, and I don't always just go on emotions. If I went on just emotions, I never would have got my first marriage annulled. I would have been that faithful little stay till the end of everything, even if it included dying for it. No, thank you. Dude was a monster. Ex-military, special forces, policeman, you know, brutal, cruel. So no. If being faithful to trash includes my sanity or my integrity, I'm out. I'm done. Oh, and how many people do you know that stay together in marriages or relationships and they're just okay with abusing each other, and they it's wild. I mean, why? You know, if you're done, if you can't make it together and you're unevenly yoked, why stay together for forever committed to that lack of integrity, and it's a lie. It's just a pure lie. These people present themselves as a couple to the world and they hate each other. It's like whatever. So yeah, my relationship confuses a lot of people, but I don't give a shit because as far as anybody, nobody on this planet gets my emotional affections and my physical affections, and they haven't for decades. So what anybody thinks, um I don't care, because that's my integrity. And that's why I cut people off. It's like, not good enough, not worthy, done. Why play? I mean, if you truly have that within yourself, um, no amount of pretending with another person is going to make that relationship as pure and as whole as the holy marriage and sanctity of lovemaking and all that is righteous within that marriage a real thing. It's just fake shit like the rest of this world. That's why I've never truly and wholeheartedly ever gave a human my heart like that, you know? Not even my kids. Nobody. If they're not worthy, they're not worthy. Period. Do I expect too much? No, I don't. I don't accept less than what I deserve out of anybody. Friends, relatives, I don't care. If they can't step up in all true honesty from right from the start, or after they're grown and they can't grow into a decent human being, they have no place in my life. Especially when you sit there and watch the same patterns out of these people. And when they've shut off their light, when they're little people and they're guided by darkness, there's a trigger that comes. That's the possession, when they decide to act on that darkness instead of being who they were born to be, and they ignore it for their own benefit. In the end, it's not going to benefit them, but while they're doing it, they think that it is benefiting them. I can see it on them. It's a possession for sure. They're not in control of their own faculties. End of story, you know? Oh. And to me, it's a major issue. I mean, I can go out, don't get me wrong, I can socialize with people and not rip them to shreds because I can hear their thoughts or watch their mannerisms or even anticipate what's going to be coming next, all of that, you know. But and they hate me for it because they know I see right through them, you know. I can even tell them what lie they're going to tell. Wouldn't that be wild, just before it even comes out of their mouth, you know? Then they got to switch it up. That's cool too. That's funny sometimes. But yeah, I've had fun watching liars um, squirm when they're caught, you know? Or even if you catch them and you don't say anything right away, and you just let them bury themselves deeper and deeper as you're keeping that scorecard, you know? Well, I got my lawnmower last night. It's a 22-inch Craftsman with a Briggs motor on it. Nice little light for getting around the house and my gardens and all that. And tried it last night. And yes, $100. Guy north of us, just about 4 miles, 5 miles maybe, refurbishes little lawnmowers. And yeah, his name is Zippy. Zippy the lawnmower guy. Pretty cool, you know. We did have a lawn boy, and they're good. And I also was looking at Troy built, but that was quite a ways away, and it was a little heavier. This is one of them where um, it automatically shuts off when you stop mowing. If you have to move something or you're busy, and I'm just going to take a little bungee cord and wrap it because it's not self-propelled, so it will like just sit there and I can like move things around without having to restart it continuously. But so it has its pros and cons, but nothing that I can't deal with. I'm just happy. I love machinery, um, like bikes, mini bikes, cars, tractors. I've driven a lot of really cool implements and things in my life, big trucks and semis, and so I drove our last tractor home. It was about 12 miles. I did pretty good. I just wanted to drive it home because that was my tractor. I needed it for my horse, so for moving her hay bales and that type of thing. So now we've got another one. I can't remember what happened to that one. Um, oh, I think we just sold it because we didn't need that big of a machine anymore. My horse died. It's been going on 4 years now, so we just use the other one for um, landscaping and flattening the driveway because we have a gravel, you know. And in the spring, we have a lot of water around here, so we get like potholes, and sometimes the earth moves. It's got a lot of clay underneath, a lot of artesian wells, and so it's wet, really wet, muddy. Doug's like, it's muddy season again. I said, yep, every year, nothing new. So, what amazes me is how can your house get dirty in the middle of winter? You live out in the country and there's snow on the ground. There's no dirt whatsoever. The earth is totally covered in a blanket of snow. But yet, when you sweep your floor, there's dirt on your floor. And yeah, treads of your boots or whatever, or even taking them off like in the entryway, but how does the floor get dirty? It's like wild. Yeah, we got a couple cats in here, and but I don't know, it's wild. They have their own room with their litter box in there, and I got a puppy pad down on the floor that catches anything that's going to come when they jump or if they. So it's like still wild in the middle of winter how there be a dirty floor. I know it's like I'm from one topic to the next, but yeah. If you ever want a variety in your life or never know what I'm going to say or do, I'm your channel. you know. Or your friend. You know, that's a lot. What people don't value is what true loyalty is, and the strength. Well, it doesn't even take strength to be a decent person if that's ingrained in you. It would be more, it would be a harder struggle to be a dishonest person if you weren't, you see? So, that would like rip you up inside. And these creatures, it's ripping them up, but they take measures and steps and safeguards that they've put into their lives since and they were even born into some of this dysfunction. Like, okay, your frontal lobes is where you do your reasoning. It's where your compassion comes from, and the neurons that uh, tell you um, instinctively. They help you sort out the dark from the light natures within ourselves. And I know and I have seen and witnessed with my own eyes people that hit each other in the frontal lobes, families that grow up smacking their children in the heads to stop their capacity, the capacity of compassion and empathy for other people. And as you can see, and we all know there's a lot of brutality out in this world, like child abuse that used to go unspoken, um, like even spanking your child now could become an infraction in society, but beating the fuck out of your kids way back when with a board or a stick or a belt or whatever it was, um, it wasn't abuse because nobody cared, you know? You all know, some of you probably know what I'm talking about. Like teachers that would come up with their pointers and like smack your hands or pinch you or poke you or gank on you or, you know, now um, they'd be crucified for that. Well, now they do it differently. They wear, say, or do certain things that are going to hurt little people that we as parents can't really prove or do anything about. But I did write an article in my local paper about their devil may care 60s nonchalant type of actions that they take trying to teach somebody else's child like sexuality or their beliefs in certain things or whatever. And I became a little hated around my small community, but they're still afraid of me, so they can all fuck off. If they're not scared, if people aren't scared, I'm not doing it right. But I am, and they are. So there's only a few people I know in my life that would try and push me past that point in person, and they didn't get away with it. So I'm still not done with some people. They think I am, but no, I have things planned for them. Yeah, it's just the way it is. These creatures, these tards, these retardos that want to pretend that evil is some kind of illness. Yeah, you're ill, all right. And I'm just the cure you need. So I'm going to get this uploaded. I guess you see my mood. I hate liars and I hate people that deceive, and I just can't stand it. Yeah, there are patterns, and it doesn't matter who it is in your life. These people, these creatures, all read the same playbook when it comes to harming other people, and they're nasty. And a liar will do anything. A liar's capable of anything. If they lie, they're capable of anything after that. So, all right, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. To all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day, moms. See y'all later.